Okay, after you have selected your user profile, we are now ready to start looking at how to program your robot. So I'd like to draw your attention to the right side of your screen that says Robot Educator. You're going to see three bars. One says Common Palette. This is where your first 20 lessons are located. And then there's also the complete palette, which also has about 19 lessons. You will not be completing all of the complete palette lessons. You're also going to see data logging, which is something we are not going to be learning about. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Common Palette and show you how each of the lessons are set up. If I click on the very first one, which is 01 Play Sound, I'm going to see three bars. One says Challenge Brief, one says Building Guide, the other one says Programming Guide. For Challenge Brief, this is either going to be a picture or a video that is going to show you what your robot will do when it is programmed. So in this case, I'm going to press play and see what our robot's going to do. Okay, so our robot is going to play a sound. We do not have the little Lego guys, so you do not need that. If I click under Building Guide, it's going to show me what I need in order to complete this challenge. So in this case, it says I only need the brick and the Lego guy, which I just said we do not have. And the brick is already attached to the entire robot system itself. So we just need the brick. So you can keep everything attached. Now, the most important one is the programming guide, and this is, again, either a video or a series of pictures that's going to show you how to program. So I'm going to bring the slider bar all the way back to the beginning. Okay, and this preview screen right here is going to show you how to program your robot. So this screen off to the right should look exactly like your one to the left, which it doesn't. If we look towards the left, okay, towards the center of your screen, you're going to see a section that says Start New Program. Right now it says Untitled 1. I'd like for you to name each of your lessons after the name. So for example, this one is 01 period play sound. It is really, really, really important that you have the 01 period play sound or 02 or 03. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and press on go. And this is going to open up a new sheet. So if you take a look, okay, this now matches up. So if we watch the video, they click, drag, and drop that first button right here. So they click, drag, and drop. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. So it looks like they clicked on this sound button. I'm going to click, hold down the mouse key, and then let go. And you'll see that it has released it and it has snapped to that start section. Go ahead and press play. And it looks like at the bottom, I'm looking for exclamation mark error 02. So if I scroll down to File, okay, I see error, but remember it says exclamation mark error 02. And exclamation marks come before even A. So I'm going to look for exclamation mark error 02. There we go. And the last thing it tells me to do is click on play. So in this case, I can go ahead and click on play. Now I don't have a robot attached, so it's going to say cannot find device. If your robot is attached and it is on, what's going to happen is it's going to automatically download and run that program onto your robot. If I click on this next button over here, it's going to tell me more help. The last page on every lesson always calls for more help. Okay? So if I go back over here, my lesson is now completed. So I want to make sure that I click on Save. Make sure again that it says 01 Play Sound, and then go ahead and click on Save. And remember, you've selected your user profile. Okay, so if I click on Open, you're going to see that under this folder, under your user profile, it is now saved it as 01 Play Sound. For grading purposes, at the end of this lesson, I'm going to go through and double check that you have all of your lessons in order. That's why it's important to make sure you have the 01. So we want to go back to the Common Palette. Now we want to go to lesson 2. This one says Use Display. Okay, so as I said before, the challenge brief shows you either a picture or a video of what your robot is going to do with that program. If I click on play, it will use the display. The building guide is going to show me what I physically need in order to complete that. So again, we have our brick which is attached to our robot, and we don't have the Lego guy, so we're all set here. And then the programming guide. Now this one is not a video. If we look down here, this is a series of pictures. This is picture 1 out of 8. Now I need a new tab up here, or a new program. And there's a couple ways to do this. You can either click on File and New, or underneath Tools there's a blank sheet of paper, and that is also New Program. Now before we get started, what I'd like for you guys to get into the habit is saving this program before you even get started, and we are going to name this one 02 Use Display. Okay, once we've done that, we can go ahead and click on Save, and you'll see that the tab has now changed the name to 02 Use Display. Now we can go ahead and get started. So the first screen is telling me that I want to add this TV looking box to the center. So I'm going to come over here, click, drag, drop. Now I'm going to look at step 2. Okay, step 2, I'd like to draw your attention to these orange arrows, the big orange arrows. And I can see 3 of these on the screen, which means that there are 3 changes that I need to make to Use Display. The first one is File, Lego Minifig Head. So I'm going to scroll down to File and look for Lego Minifig Head. Saying that I want to change the X to 42, which it is, and change my Y to 22. Okay, there's no other changes I'm going to make, so I'm going to click on the third screen. I'm going to come over here and look at the weight buttons. Now, mine look slightly different. They only have 1 option. I have 5 options. And I can see that I want the first option, which is time. Click, drag, drop. Click on the next screen. I see an orange arrow, which means that I need to make a change. So I'm going to change the time to 3 seconds. Click on Next. Now it's telling me I want to add another screen. So I'm going to come over here, click, drag, drop. Now some people will say, wait a minute, this one has a smiley face and this one has a down arrow. What I tell students is have patience, because the next screen might tell you what change you need to make. So go ahead and click on Next, and in this case it does. It's telling us to change it to reset, and you will now see that the happy face is gone from that block and it now has a down arrow. So from here I'm going to go ahead and click on the center button, which is download and run, which means as soon as it downloads onto my robot, it's going to automatically run.